some of you will say, well, I've got to this stage in my life, and I feel as though it's too late for me. My life is almost over. If only I'd made right choices earlier on, then I'm sure I could have made better of myself. If only I'd stayed on longer at school, if only I'd worked harder, if only I had got more qualifications, if only I hadn't got involved in that relationship, if only I hadn't made that choice, if only I hadn't, if only I hadn't. Listen, folks, if you're living life with a big if only over you, you're never going to experience the life in fullness that Jesus has promised you. And I would say to you that anyone here who lives life with a big if only, if I had only, or if only I hadn't, then you need to get rid of that. Because Jesus Christ sets you free from the if onlys in life. And he takes you from where you are right now, at this point in time, irrespective of all the mistakes you've made, irrespective of all the failures you've experienced, irrespective of the broken relationships, irrespective of the sins you've committed. If you give it to him, he strips away your if only, and he says, today is the day of salvation. This is your starting point now. You see, in God's calendar, yesterday is gone. When you give your life to him, your yesterdays are gone. They're buried in the deepest sea. You are who you are and where you are right now. And God only deals with and speaks into your situation right now. Understand that? And there are so many people walking around wishing that they hadn't, or wishing that they had. Or stop wishing and start living. Because Jesus Christ meets you at your point of reality, not the point of your dreaming. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Remember God's teaching. Keep his commandments. This speaks about obedience and yieldedness. Lord, I come to you today, and I present myself as a living sacrifice. May it be holy and acceptable to you, which is my reasonable act of worship. You see, it all stems from there. When Jesus said, take up your cross daily and follow me, it meant, put me first in everything. You see, if you want to enjoy life in its fullness, it's a Jesus first life. And everything follows. This is why Jesus said, seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these other things. Didn't say they don't matter. He just said, and all these other things, in other words, put the horse in front of the cart, and maybe you'll get somewhere in your life.
Yeah.
Very often we look for the other things, and then when, Lord, I've got the other things sorted, then I'll seek your kingdom. The horse isn't going to get very far when it's tripping over the cart that you put in front of it. Understand? Turn it on its head. Yieldedness, obedience to his word. Not just a head knowledge, not something you can go around bashing other people over the head with. I've got 13 scriptures that I can hit unbelievers with. I've got another 26 that I can hit other Christians with. When it's the sword of the Spirit, it's not there so we can go around in church or out in the world, clubbing one another to death. That's not the concept. I can't find that anywhere, even in the Message translation. It doesn't say that. Yeah? It has a purpose, but it is not to attack other people. It's to set things right in me. The first point that sword addresses is me. And there are times I have to allow God to perform a surgical procedure inside my own heart first. Have you ever identified with that? Yes. Yeah? Lord, I just want you to have your way so that you can do in me what you need to do in me in order that I can be all that you've called me to be. And it's only when you are what God's called you to be that you can ultimately fulfill what God's called you to do. Because the doing comes from the being. Does that mean we wait around till we're perfect? No. Because you wait a long time. But what it means is that as I walk with him on a daily basis, I'm open to him just prompting me, shaping me, molding me, guiding me, moving me forward, unearthing things that maybe I don't always want to see in me, not to condemn me and destroy me, not to destroy my self-worth, but to bring healing and deliverance and release, because he came to set the captives free. And some of us leave stuff that's buried for years and years and years. Jesus just wants to come in. Why don't you just give that to me? Why are you trying to hide that from me? I know about it already. As long as you hold on to it with two tight hands like that, I am not going to force it from your grasp. I need you to give it to me. And once you've given it to him, then you've given him permission to deal with it, heal it, set you free of it. That's a wonderful process, isn't it? And if that meets you and speaks to you today, then today there's an invitation for you to get that sorted. And it's not a long drawn-out process. I'm not inviting you for 20 years of counselling. I'm just inviting you to give it to him and let it go. And let him heal you and fill you in that area that you have kept filled with that, if only in life, for far too long. Yes, you've made mistakes. There's no denying it. It's probably on the internet. It doesn't matter, because Jesus has paid the price in full and it's finished. Give it to him. Do not let truth and mercy leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablets of your heart. Then you will find favour and good understanding in the sight of God and people. This is about relationships. This is about how we deal in our relationships with one another and what the outcome of that process is. Because this is about finding favour and good understanding in the sight of God and people. And I would like to live a life in which I find firstly the favour of God and the favour of people. Okay? Because it's good when you find the favour of people. Isn't it? It's not an ungodly thing. It's a godly thing. Both individually and collectively. But it says, do not let truth and mercy leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablets of your heart. This is how I relate to other people. Because some people, quite honestly, in life, and you will meet them, and you probably know them, I'm not asked to put the big sheet on the wall to write their names down, but you know some pretty obnoxious people. Strangely enough, some of them sometimes come to church. Yeah, I'm not asking you to walk around and, I'm not asking you to... Yeah? Some people, we could all do without. We think our lives would be simpler if those people were not out in our Lord. God, please remove that person from my life. If that person was out of my life, out of the scene of things, then my life would be less complicated or less miserable. This person is making my life unbearable. Yeah? And we want God to remove people, don't we? Some people, we would love God to just drop a great big bomb. Some of you know them. Yeah. Some people, you just with Lord, just there's a thunderstorm and you think, just know who I wish was standing underneath that bolt of lightning, yeah? Holding a metal object in the right now. Yeah. Oh well, it's not just me. I'm among friends, isn't that cool? But we have these people in our lives, don't we? But what we have to check out is how we react and how we respond. Because we're very good at blaming other people. We're very good at blaming other people. It's someone else's fault. They're making my life a misery. They're destroying my life. They are like a dark cloud. Lord, if you remove that dark cloud, then I would enjoy the full shine of your sunshine, of your presence and grace. Lord, remove that, and God says, I want to deal with you first. Okay?